Join me this week as I show you how simple it is to make the tracks to put a plexiglass cover on your dollhouse. Alright, so we are going to start making the plexiglass covers that are going to go here, make sure you can see, on this portion, and then another one for here, just like we did on the toy store. I'm having to work in the dining room because I don't really have room to work on the dollhouse in my workroom, so there's going to be a lot of extra noise and stuff in the background, so just ignore that part. So I bought my plexi. I bought this at Home Depot. I actually got 2 sheets because I'm not sure, I couldn't remember how big I needed when I got there. I also bought a professional plastic cutter. I'm going to try that out and see if that works. If it works, I'll do a video in the summer on how to cut plexiglass with it. I'm not going to be able to set up to do that at this time of year because I want to do that outside and it's too cold to be out there that long. So in addition to the plastic, today we're going to make the track, or right now I'm going to make the track. For that I have some 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch basswood, and I have some other strips. These are, let me measure because I didn't really measure. I dug through my stash. These looks like they're about 3/8 of an inch, so anywhere from 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 inch by 1/8 of an inch strips. And I'm just going to do one on camera and I'll do the rest off camera simply because it'll be easier. So I'm going to measure. I'm not even going to use a ruler. I'm going to cut this. Whoops, I'm knocking things down. Let's see, which is the piece. I'm going to cut a piece, and this one is just about perfect, so I'm just going to use this piece the way it is. This just stretches across. You can see here, it stretches across. Let's see if I got the camera set up. There, move the camera. So this will go right down here. And you could set it anywhere. I'm going to glue mine against here. So I find it's easier if I glue it and then cut the second piece. I'm going to try and do this without getting glue all over my dining room. And what we need to do, hoping I'm going to get this where the camera sees it. Hopefully my glue is not set. I'm going to use the other glue. This glue is almost empty. Let me grab this one. Alright. So use a tacky, I like a tacky glue for this. It's whatever. I'm going to run a bead of glue along one side. It doesn't have to be particularly straight. How long is this piece? So this was the piece we're using. I'm going to use most of this piece. This would be so much easier at my work table, but then I'd be running back and forth and having to set the camera up in multiple locations for every video. It's just not going to work. Then I have super glue. And you know my trick with super glue. We take and try to keep your fingers out of the super glue. And then very carefully lay this piece, this 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch. And the important part is we want to line this edge up, this long edge. And what we are forming is kind of, if you look at it from the end, and I'll try to get some pictures, we've got almost an L shape. We've got the flat piece, and we've got this little piece here. And this is going to be this is the channel that our plexiglass will fit in. By the way, measure your plexiglass and make sure it's less than 1/8 of an inch. I think most of it is. But that glue needs to dry, and then we'll trim this a little bit. But that's really all there is to that channel. I'm going to make, you raise the camera up, and because of the super glue we don't need to clamp. I'll be cutting 2 more that will fit right in here. I'll make one for each side, probably about this long. And that you can eyeball, you can do it however size you want for your dollhouse. But I'll be doing 2 more channels just like that first one that are just about this long. So I'll get those done when the glue is all dry. I'll get some photos of the pieces and I'll be back. Alright, I've got these all dry now, so the next step will be I will take these outside and spray paint them. But oops, I've got so much stuff stacked here. I've got the 2 short ones. And I also did one thing off camera too that I hadn't talked about. I decided to add a piece of, I think it's about 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch basswood down here under the floor, just to give me a little more fudge room here on where I glue my track, in case my plastic is too long to glue up here to the white. And I've cut my plexiglass. I used my cutter and I got it all cut. The cutter worked really well. Next summer I might do a how-to. I'll be putting a cover like this onto my Harrison pretty soon. And when I do that, if there's more questions about this process, we can visit this subject again. But I've cut the 2 pieces. I like to have those cut before I start gluing my tracks onto the house. So now I just need to take these all out and paint them. I'll be painting the long one that goes here, kind of a white, and then the ones for the roof I will do in a brown. And I like to spray paint because it adds the least amount of bulk to my pieces. So when those are painted and dry, we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so I have these all painted now. I've ended up painting the bottom one with just a white. It'll blend in okay. And the 2 top, the ones for the roof, are a brown. So they'll blend into the roof. And yeah, I know you can't really see the roof from where you're at. Let's see if I can get, there's the roof. Alright, so they will go, they're going to go like this. So they'll blend in somewhat. Now our first step is we need to put our stops in for our plexiglass, because obviously on this angle, if you put a piece of plexiglass in here, it's just going to fall out. So what we do is we drill some holes. I have some nails. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? There's the camera. Bad lighting out here today. I'm just hoping my power stays on so the light I have stays on. This is just a little, call them a panel nail. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. I will list this all in the blog post. So let's move down again so we can be on a table. And I didn't feel like going out in the cold and the wet and the rain to get a piece of wood to drill in. So we are going to drill. Don't want to drill into my cutting mat or my dining room table. And what I'm going to do is this is going to sit this way on the roof. Here's our lip. And I need to drill a hole for this nail to go through. And I'm going to start on the back because it's more stable, and then I know I'm not hitting my part that's going against the house. But don't drill into your cutting mat or directly into your table. You want to have a piece of paper here, like I drilled into the newspaper, and that's fine. Now, the same place on the other one, there's the camera. Now we make sure we have a pair. So put them together, make sure they're lined up at the end, because you want this to be straight. There. We can drill through that one. But you can use a piece of wood underneath this. You could use a magazine, like I'm doing a newspaper, anything like that. Now we can put our nails through here, and that's what will stop, go back up, that's what will stop the plexiglass from falling off. Now if I am repeating myself this week, it's because I've been sick all week, so I don't remember what I said on part of the video. And I really hope the light on the video is better than it looks like on the preview screen. So, the first thing I want to do is lay my plexiglass, which I laid right here. And I need a pen. Right, in the search for a pen, I realized a piece of chalk is probably better. So I have this up against the house where I want it. I like to pre-cut my plexi, that way I know exactly how big it's going to be. Now I'm drawing on each side of it with this chalk. This way I know exactly where to put these. You know, I know that I want to have these over just a little bit so they just cover that. And I've got the nail in the bottom, where's the camera, so I know that it's going to clear the roof. So I'm going to get some glue on this, which I forgot to put my glue upside down. This glue's upside down. Yeah, we have one heck of a storm going on outside today, so I really hope my electricity stays on because I'm running really late on getting this video done this week. Being sick does not make making videos work. Now, put some super glue on this. Where's the camera? Trying to play where's the camera here. So I kind of like you to be able to see this. Make sure you don't get glue on your nail because you don't want that glued in. Now, just make it so that this will need to be clamped. Some clamps down there. That's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to have to hold this. So I'm going to hold this until that glue sets up. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll come back and we'll put the track on the bottom of the house. Now we're going to start the bottom plex while that top one is drying. So I know I need to have this where it can clear these sides, which means I can line it up at the bottom of that piece that I've glued on here. And this will basically be the same thing. We're going to take this track. I have no idea where the camera is because I'm not set up where I can see. I'm going to run a bead of glue along here. I'm going to dot it with some super glue and I'm going to line it up with the bottom of that piece of wood I glued on. When you cut the panel for the back, be sure that you can clear any gingerbread trim that's on the sides of your roof. I made that mistake with the first cut and had to trim. So big glue in here. I'm getting almost to the end here. A few dots of super glue so that it will stay in place. Because there's really not a good way to clamp this because of the shape. It makes it very difficult to clamp. So now I can wipe the glue off of my table. Alright, so we will put this on here, get it in place, not glue our fingers to it, and this track needs to dry. When the glue's all dry, I'll come back and we'll see how it works. So hopefully this glue is dry enough. The last step, we need to peel the protective plastic off of our plexiglass. And I don't do this until the very last minute when I'm going to use it. And I've taken the little nails out. Now we just need to slide it up. Come on, come on. And because of the shape of the shingles on this house, I will have to fight with this a little bit because these are pretty thick. Now we just put our nails back in. And that, I probably don't want them all the way in case they go in far enough that they will catch. Now that rests there. Peel the plastic off of our other piece. Come on. Now the one edge of this is cut really badly because I had to cut off like a half, I got it like a ½ inch too big. And I didn't want to have to start the other sheet, so I ended up scoring it and then using my pliers to just take off little bits. But that's the side down in the track. And there we go. The house is now completely encased, well, pretty much completely. I mean, there's a crack here because it has to clear the gingerbread on the side. But now if things get knocked over in the dollhouse, they'll stay put. They won't go behind the table. And the dust will hit here and not in there. So that's what we're doing this week. Next week we'll probably put everything back in the dollhouse, and then I'll show you the display table that it normally sits on. So I hope you can use the information in this video. If you have questions, be sure to ask either here in the comments on the video or on the Facebook page or on the blog. And until next week, have fun with your minis, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.